Welcome everyone once again to another episode of The Whistle Whisperer as I bring to you live a very special segment regarding gender roles in Western and in urban societies around the world, and particularly the semiotic inferences that surrounds the feminist persuasion that we've recorded in modern times in epistemic faculties. It is a very big experience for me to come live and to share with you this experience that I've continued to build up in my faculties of understanding, and it is very flabbergasting for me to have come to the realization that gender roles remain one of the key principles that guards the realm of human existence and human uh, human evolution as time has come and continue to move on and go into the future. Furthermore, when we talk about the philosophy of gender roles, we have to be very critical in our uh, methodology and formation and formulas that we bring together in our conclusions and in our theses, which help us to create a kind of generalization that we can factor into our, should I say, acute, esoteric diligence, you know. So, well, as it is, there is so much to discuss when we talk about like gender roles and how the domestication of livestock and all of these is preemptive and is paramount, and it's one of the syndicate or idiosyncrasies that we can pattern towards how human civilization has developed in over the centuries. In particular, like the African and Western African experience has been totally like different from that of the Middle East and the Sumerian nodes of Itato socializations and all of such ambivalence, you know. As I continue to develop my ideas regarding gender uh, uh, possibilities, and now we are concerned as male and female uh, partnership, you know, in this life in this world of experience, that this sphere of 3D reality that we are uh, that we are in, that we try to like navigate in one way or the other, and all of this is something that we must really factor into our our terminologies of engagement, and as I continue to to think and to ponder on a lot of issues regarding even the animals that we rear as domesticated livestock, like you have to understand, like, because this saying where people go about telling, oh, you don't want to have a beef with someone, or this is this or that is that, or and it might sound funny, but like like women have been described as, in different terminologies which are very misogyny, and you have to pardon me to make these claims, and because how do we arrive at the real understanding of what these gender roles have really embodied, because I think, like, from my assumption, because when you look at like the Western women, the white Caucasian, and you look at their private organs and how it looks, and the description of it, like it looks more of like a livestock bird, like like a rooster, like something of that nature. And but when you look at like the black and the colored people's like genitals, like the women in particular, like it's more, it looks more roasted, and maybe like a roasted goat or sheep or something of that nature, right? Like it looks reddish and not as white as the chicken or like the rooster or something, And when people tell you like you don't want to have a beef with them, like it's like, for me, like what does that terminology imply? Like, what are we getting at? Like what's the catch? Because are you saying like you don't want to have something to do with a black woman? Like, is is that the notion, or like is that just my own assumption? Let us have a discussion. I don't know everything. Like, I'm just a curious person, and it's been very benign to come up with all of this in my mind, and to just break it down piece by piece is something that I have to just try and develop as an as a skill, and as we continue on my discussion on this genital uh, should I say comparison with the animals as I've described. I mean, like we cannot deny all of this, and to say like having a beef, which something that looks more of like an African or like a black person's genital, is more demeaning and very tribalistic. But there is more to this debate, and this is not even racist in any manner, because these are just philosophical uh, intermediaries that we must consider, like, and they are one of the perennialities of of, uh, uh, of our experiences, that we cannot obligate object, or we cannot sweep under the rug. Like, we have to be critical and bring these issues to light, and come to general understanding of how we have as a race and as human beings developed in our capacities, not just in terms of maybe early modernization and in these revisionist ideologies that continues to, to mediate recent diplomacies, but I stand to be corrected in as much as I understand, because I mean, not to offend anyone, but like when we say something sounds fishy, like it is fishy, like, and even for like having like long queues in the US of like people queuing for sushi and all this stuff, like, it goes to talk about like the trade wars that have continued to linger, like with the US and China and the rest of the Asian tigers. These are something we cannot ignore, and we must continue to discuss them, and it is, man. Thank you very much, guys.